Ethiopia. 5 questions to understand the conflict in the Tigray region. An armed conflict has raged in the state of Tigray, in northern Ethiopia, since early November. It opposes the Ethiopian federal government and the regional government of Tigray, and pushes tens of thousands of Ethiopians to flee to neighboring Sudan. Explanations. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed announced on Saturday evening that the army had taken control of Mekele, the capital of Tigray in northern Ethiopia. According to him, this marks the completion of the final phase of the military operation that began on November 4. But what is happening in this region of Africa? Where is the Tigray region located? Tigray is one of the 10 semi-autonomous states that make up the Ethiopian Federation. This mountainous region is located in northern Ethiopia and has a population of around 5 million. Nearly 500,000 inhabitants live in its capital Mekele. Ethiopia, second in Africa by population, is a landlocked country between Sudan, Somalia, Djibouti, and Eritrea. Who are the two main actors in this conflict? On the one hand, the federal government based in Addis Ababa. It is headed by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019. On the other, the dissident troops of the Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF), of which Debretsion Gebremichael is the leader. He is also the interim vice president of the Tigray region. Who lit the fuse? Hostilities were launched on the night of November 3 to 4. The Ethiopian Federal Army is said to have launched an air-ground assault on the dissident region of Tigray, north, where militiamen allegedly attacked 2 federal military bases. The TPLF contradicts this version and accuses the Prime Minister of having invented this story to justify his military intervention. But tensions between the federal government and the leaders of the Tigrayan minority are not new. Regional authorities of the Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF) accuse Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed of gradually marginalizing the Tigrayan minority, 6% of the population, since coming to power in April 2018. To challenge the ruling power, Tigray decided to hold its own elections last September. And this, despite the federal power's decision to postpone all elections due to the coronavirus pandemic. Prime Minister Addis Ababa has since considered Tigray's regional government illegal. The Ethiopian parliament voted on November 7 to revoke the regional parliament and the executive of Tigray. Why this conflict is destabilizing the Horn of Africa region. The Tigray Force Command accuses Eritrea of helping the Ethiopian Federal Army by letting its air force take off from Eritrean territory, but also by intervening militarily in the fighting in Tigray. He had threatened to fire missiles in retaliation against Asmara and Massawa, an Eritrean port on the Red Sea. Asmara, the capital of Eritrea, has been repeatedly hit by rockets fired from Ethiopia's Tigray region. The conflict is destabilizing the entire Horn of Africa region. Eritrea is the sworn enemy of the TPLF, which has controlled the political and security apparatus in Ethiopia for almost 30 years. Ethiopia and Eritrea clashed in a deadly war between 1998 and 2000, when the TPLF was all-powerful in Addis Ababa. The two countries remained at loggerheads until Abiy Ahmed became prime minister in 2018 and made peace with Asmara, which won him the Nobel Prize in 2019. What consequences for civilian populations? UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres on November 20 called for the opening of humanitarian corridors to come to the aid of the population trapped in the fighting in the Ethiopian region of Tigray. Amnesty International has denounced a massacre of civilians. More than 43,000 Ethiopians have taken refuge in Sudan, but in their frantic flight, some have lost track of a child, father or mother.